How are we, guys? It's Matt from the 1-2 collection, and today's video is just going to be a quick showcase of the Photoshop AI tool in the Photoshop beta. Now, as I said, it's a beta. It's worth bearing in mind that it's not quite perfect yet, but given that it's in the early stages of development, it's fantastic for how quick you can completely change the entire dynamic of an image. Now, this Audi RS3, I shot this about a year and a half ago. It's a Viper Green RS3, and I've always felt that the Viper Green would stand out in a nice snowy backdrop. Now, being from the UK, there aren't that many places where we really get thick snow like this, and that's why I had to use the Photoshop AI tool to just give myself an idea of what kind of an image I might be able to get down the line when the weather changes and I can get out into maybe the Welsh Hills, somewhere like that. But that said, as you can see on screen, it's not actually like I need to do that anyway, which eliminates the risk of me crashing into a tree in the snow, so I don't mind that too much. But in the space of, a minute, we've gone from having an image of an RS3 on a beach to a very realistic image of it in thick snow in the middle of some nice forest hills. Audi, if you want me to do some adverts, get on me. Now, we've got the next one here. This is an Audi RS6 that I shot about 2 years ago on a drive out that we did to North Wales. Now, as you can see, the actual image itself is pretty nice, and the location and the landscape was really nice as well. But I just felt that this might benefit from a little touch-up. So what we did is we pulled it into a rainy forest. Now, I then decided that I wanted to give the Photoshop AI tool a little bit more freedom to do what it does. So we doubled the canvas, moved the image over to one side of the canvas, and then just selected it, inverted the selection, and then just hit generate and let it do what it does. And it comes back with another 3 options, and as you can see, they are fantastic. They all look great, but I decided this one gave me the most freedom to do what I wanted to do with the image now. So then I decided to select the right hand side of the image and just add in a mountain just to give it a bit more texture, because we've moved the car over to the left. We want something on the right just so that it's not lost in the whole image. At this point, I was just being a bit overly creative, so I decided to do a mask around the trees at the back in the fog and add in a mountain. And I wasn't sure what it was going to do here because I didn't change any settings. I've literally just left it to do what it does. And as you can see, yeah, it's a little bit pointy, maybe not. I'm not sure what that was. But then it still looks pretty realistic from a distance. Obviously, mountains don't generally tend to be like that. And then I thought, well, I'll add in a flock of birds because that'll just add a bit of texture and it'll just make it look a bit more full. For some reason, it decided to generate a duck. Not sure why. The second option was exactly what I was looking for, a flock of birds, just to give a bit of depth to the image. And as you can see, we've completely transformed that image in the sake of, 2 minutes, if that. Now, moving on to the final image of this video, it was of a track edition Toyota Supra, BMW Z4, whatever you want to call it. And this one was in a beautiful spec, lovely colour. Now, we did this in Liverpool city centre, and with all the shots being urban style shots, I've always wondered what it would look like in a completely different scenario. And now that we have the Photoshop AI tool, we can do that. So I decided that I was going to put it next to a beach just to give myself a bit of difference from what I've been doing with the other images. And the first 3 generations, pretty cool. That one was a bit weird. I'm not sure why he was in the sea. So I went with this one because I think it had the most potential. And then from here, I really had to decide where I wanted to take the image. So what I decided to do was to do a mask selection on the left-hand side and just generate some sort of a mountain or a cliff just to give a bit of depth and character to the image. So then it comes back with its 3 options as it does. And looking back, I think I actually prefer the shape of the first option, but I did like the waves crashing on the side on the second option. So we went with that as the decision for this one. And then we just had to do a small selection on the left-hand side just to do another generation, just to fill in a little patch that hadn't quite matched up to the rest of the image. And then, to be honest, that could have been it. I could have just left it there. I was pretty happy with the overall image. But then I thought, I'm just going to try and elevate it a little bit and add in a tree, because sometimes the tree generation isn't the best. So I thought, palm tree, we're on a beach here. This is, it's pretty in line with whatever we're looking at. So we went for that. First 2 generations are all right. I quite like the second one. The third one, for some reason, decided it wanted to float in the sky. So then we went with the second one, and that was it. Literally done and dusted. And as you can see, the transformation's absolutely night and day. It's crazy. So what do you guys think about the Photoshop AI? Do you think AI has gone too far? Do you think that it's a great tool that'll help photographers? Or do you think that it's going to kill us off in a few years? Let me know in the comments below. Cheers for watching, guys. Nice one.